How's it going? My first video in a long time, other than my video explaining that I was going to start posting again. And I told you guys in that video, if you watched it, that the things I've been doing lately have leaned more bushcraft than just some of the things I was doing before. And I've been just exploring my gear, exploring what I carry, why I carry it, and the practicalities of all that. For instance, I've switched to carrying a haversack a lot when I'm just out scouting around rather than a backpack, and I'll explain all that later. Made my own. But right now, I made this video to pose a question about the knives we carry in the field. A lot of guys, when I grew up, just carried their standard pocket knife. A lot of guys in the bushcraft community, they'll usually carry something in a fixed blade, 3-inch with a 3-inch blade to a 5-inch blade. Some people carry bigger. And I have been carrying, if you've watched many of my videos, I usually have this. This is my beloved Joker Comparo. I love this knife. It's always with me when I know I'm going to be in the woods. And then my EDC blade for just everyday carry everywhere I go. Sometimes I'll even forget and bring it with me just out of habit into the woods, is my Bradford Guardian 3. I've been carrying this knife for right at a year every single day, except for when I make a concerted effort to only carry maybe a Swiss Army knife in my Comparo into the woods. But what I've come to notice is that when I'm out doing camp stuff, working around a fire with food, different things, just whittling, I never seem to reach for that knife. It's always right there, but I always seem to reach for my small pocket knife, my Swiss Army knife. A lot of times I'll carry a little small neck knife. I go for that a lot around camp. But it led me to a decision. How long of a knife blade is actually what I want, what I need, right? So it led me to a decision. And I purchased this. Now, when these first come out a few years ago, I kind of thought they were a gimmick. I didn't pay them much attention at all, to be honest, even though I love more knives. But I started looking for something I could just slip in my pocket, dummy corded to my belt, because I don't like running around the woods with a knife around my neck. And then when I got to where I'm going to be to make dinner or set up camp, pop it out, and it's easy to get to, and it's right there, and it's not really in my way. So if you don't know, this is a little more knife. It's got like a 2.9, I believe, inch blade. It's got kind of like a dual grind there. This is Sandvik stainless steel. It came razor sharp out of the box, and the spine's very sharp. So processing tender, ferro rod, that kind of thing, it'll work fine. And I like this sheath because see that big gap. A lot of times when I'm trying to put a neck knife back in, it's such a narrow opening that it's hard to get in one-handed. But this one, it's easy. It's easy. It's like a funnel, and it's very lightweight, a little over 2 ounces, I think. So here's my question. If we always seem to reach, or I at least always seem to reach for the smaller, easier knife, how big a knife is truly what we need out there? I mean, sure, it'd be nicer to have a bigger knife, but it just seems I always reach for the smaller one. Even a lot of times, I'll have my Comparo, and I'll just, if I forget and put the Bradford on my belt, or maybe my Comparo's in a bag and I've got my Bradford, I'll grab my Bradford. It was the same when I just carried like a folding pocket knife with a clip in the woods. A lot of times, if I didn't specifically need the fixed blade, or if I wasn't specifically using it to practice with it or to get used to it, I'd grab something else. So here's my question. How big a knife should we carry? How big a knife do we like carrying or we use? Just food for thought. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. What size knife you carry versus what size knife you might need. Have you ever done this experiment? My experiment is I'm going to use this. I'm going to keep my other one with me, my Comparo, when I'm out in the wilderness and just doing whatever it is I'm doing. I'm going to have it with me in case I need it. but I'm just going to use this and see how many times I actually pull out that bigger knife for a while. And I'll let you guys know later on what I figure out. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you've ever tried this, what you think of the more Eldris or smaller knives in general for woodscraft, bushcraft, hunting, fishing, those kinds of things. Thanks, guys.